ไลฟ์
美国绿花小溪。
Okay, recording. Hello everyone, welcome to Next Gen Tech. I'm Belden, and today we will diving into an issue facing many people today: the automatic hiring systems. That's us like a bad hope for series. These systems are designed to streamline hiring, but they often excluded capable candidates based on career criteria that don't exactly reflect their ability or experience. We are particularly focusing on two groups who feel the impact most. First, individuals in their 40s and 50s who have been laid off from long-term jobs. And second, parents, especially mothers, who take time off to raise children. Let's start with the first group. Many older workers have years of experience, but are often overlooked. Why do you think these people struggling in today's job market?
That's such an important point, Belden. I think it's largely because many companies prioritize the latest skills over valuable experience. For instance, my aunt was fantastic at her jobs before she took 10 years off to raise my cousins. During that time, she managed a household, planned schedules, and even lead the school PTA. Those are all leadership skills, yet when she applies for jobs now, she gets immediate automated rejections. Their online forms ask for most recent employment, and the gap becomes a huge barrier. Why do you think companies don't see those experience rewards as worthy?
It's a systemic issue, Franny. The technology behind resume screening systems, known as applicant tracking system, operates on algorithms that focus on specific keywords. These systems are looking for job titles, technical skills, and degrees, but they completely overlook life experiences, like managing a household, instead of recognizing her as a skilled individual. It only sees an empty space on a timeline. Toyi, how do you think this affects women's confidence when they are trying to re-enter the workforce?
That's a great question, Yeri. It is incredibly disheartening. It sends a message that years spent caring for a family are worthless. My mom, for example, can organize and negotiate better than many professionals I know. Yet, she finds herself having to face things like packing school lunches as logistical coordination just to fit into a corporate job description. It is frustrating and demeaning. Isn't it worrying that we have to manipulate our narratives to suit algorithm instead of being valued for our genuine experience?
Absolutely, Chloe. This is where the core issue lies. The systems are now created by people who largely value a very narrow corporate career path. They are trained to view caregiving roles as negatives, unable to measure the resilience or problem-solving skills gained through those experiences. How do we begin to change this perception, especially for women trying to re-enter the workforce?
That's a significant point, Elsa. There has to be a way to highlight the resilience that comes from raising a family. How can we effectively communicate those values in a CV?
That's where algorithmic auditing comes in. Companies that use this system should be required to check for bias. They could test their algorithms against resumes from diverse demographics, including stay-at-home parents and older workers, to see how they perform. If they consistently reject these candidates, it raises serious flags about the technology itself. Fanny, do you think company would be open to this kind of auditing?
I hope so. It would help them realize how excluding certain groups affects their talent pool. Rethinking jobs requirements is also essential. For example, do we really need a 4-year degree for administration roles? This could open immense opportunities for those who have the skill, but not the traditional credentials. Chloe, did you believe that practical experience should weigh more than formal education?
Definitely. Experience is invaluable. There are many who are very capable but may not have the right titles on their CVs. Plus, wouldn't it make sense for firms to utilize practical tasks or paid trial projects for hiring? This way, they can better evaluate true ability rather than solely relying on whether someone fits a mold. Elsa, how do we ensure that a human element remains in the hiring process?
That's crucial. We need human judgment to prevail. AI should assist but not make final decisions. Imagine if, after an AI sorts through applications, a human goes through a random selection of the rejections to find overlooked talent. Belden, what do you think can be done to make this a reality?
I think awareness is key. Companies need to understand the benefits of diverse hiring practice. They should also provide training on how to effectively evaluate CVs that come from different backgrounds. But what about the societal level? What role does governments play in ensuring fair hiring practices?
At a societal level, we need to push for significant investment in support systems for those impacted by automation. If we know jobs will be disappear, we cannot abandon the workers affected. Government and corporate fund retraining programs are essential. For instance, Belder's uncle should have access to courses that teach him how to interact with new technologies. What do you think about plans like returnship for parents trying to re-enter the workforce?
I love that idea. Returnships can be a fantastic way for parents to bridge the skill gap while positioning themselves back into the workforce. These play internships could offer a supportive environment to update skills and gain recent experience without the pressures of immediate full-time employment. Chloe, do you think companies are ready to implement such programs?
I believe some are beginning to recognize the value. However, there's still a long way to go. It is crucial for business to see that investing in their employee growth ultimately benefits them in the long run. But we, as students and family members, can play a role too. What can we do now to support our loved ones?
We can help them craft their narratives, sitting down with our parents, aunts, and uncles to refine their resumes can make a world of difference. Our support in translating their life skills into terms that resonate with potential employers is invaluable. Yeri, how can we utilize technology to assist in this?
Great question. We could introduce them to professional networking sites and online learning tools. Showing them how to market their experiences digitally could empower them. Plus, many platforms offer free courses on building resumes and interviewing skills. Fanny, how can we help spread awareness among peers about these tools?
We can leverage social media to share resources and success stories. Highlighting individuals who transitioned successfully into new roles after taking advantage of these tools can inspire others. Chloe, did you think we should organize community workshops focusing on resume building and interview preparation?
Absolutely. Hosting workshops would not only help individuals refine their skills but also build confidence. What would create a supportive space where they can share their experience and learn from each other? What do you think, Elsa? Should community centers consider this?
I believe so. It's crucial for communities to actively provide platforms where individuals can learn and grow. If we want to create a truly inclusive society, we must work together to lift each other up. But let's also think about the long-term implications. How do we want hiring practices to evolve?
That is an important question. We need to push for a hiring landscape that recognizes the full spectrum of human experience. Ultimately, this is about creating a world where everyone is valued for their unique journey. It's not just a set of qualifications. What skill do you think will be most crucial in this evolving job market?
Skills like adaptability, creativity, and empathy will be vital. As technology continues to advance, the ability to think critically and collaborate with others will be replaceable. We should focus on honing these skills in our education systems. Fanny, what strategies can students employ right now to prepare for the future?
Great question. Students can participate in internships, volunteer work, or even side projects that foster their skills outside traditional classrooms. Engaging with diverse groups can also help develop problem-solving abilities and adaptabilities. Chloe, how can we encourage a mindset shift towards lifelong learning?
We should celebrate small wins. When our peers try new things, whether it's learning a new software or volunteering for a cause, acknowledging their efforts can reinforce the importance of continuous learning. Also, sharing resources like study groups or online courses can create a culture of education that's supportive and proactive.
Absolutely. Fostering a growth mindset is essential. We need to emphasize that learning doesn't stop after formal education. Being open to learning new skills will only become more valuable in the job market. Belden, do you think educational institutions are doing enough to prepare students for this rapidly changing landscape?
I think there's room for improvement. Institutions need to collaborate more closely with industry to understand evolving job market. They should also focus on developing soft skills, which are often overlooked. Ultimately, are we equipping students for the jobs of today and tomorrow?
Exactly, and as we have discussed, this is crucial for industries to value experiences that may not fit the traditional mold. By promoting inclusive hiring practice and providing pathways for those re-entering the workforce, we can nurture a more diverse and capable workforce.
And as consumers and future employees, we have power too. Researching companies before applying or supporting business with official hiring practice can greatly impact. It's about creating a generation that's demand technology serve people, not the other way around.
Well said. We can also become advocates for our loved ones by taking the time to help them with CVs and interview preparations. Even small actions like sharing job lists or resources can make a difference in their confidence and chances for employment.
Ultimately, this whole conversation circles back to the kind of world we want to build. Do we want a job market that defines a person by a few keywords and technical skills, or one that recognizes the deep depth and richness of every individual's experiences? We control how we use technology. Let's use it to create opportunities and foster a more inclusive workforce.
There's a powerful note to end on. It's clear this issue is more than just software. It's fundamentally about people, ensuring everyone, whether mid-career workers or parents returning to work, has a fair shot is crucial. Their value isn't defined by CV gaps or outdated skills. Thank you for such an insightful and meaningful conversation.
Thanks
Thank you,
for
Fanny.
listening. See you next time.